If you're listening to this, you're either really bored, really tired, really desperate, or really dumb. This is the Let's Not Do This podcast. You got the big O, Leon Oliver, sitting across from the three unwise men. Hopefully we have video this week. Our technical director, Chris Green, let us down last week, but he lets a lot of people down, and it's
true.
okay. It's okay.
It's kind of what I do.
Yeah. In a very bright Red Sox shirt, sitting to my right here, one Ryan McKinley Dickerson.
Boo.
How are you, sir?
Good, man. Officially baseball season. All the basketball is done. Professional basketball is done.
Well, and a cheer went up from the West there. Officially baseball season. Aren't you guys like 14 games in the first place or something like that now?
4.5 outside of the last playoff spot.
Carry the one, whatever you want to do.
Not terrible.
Yeah. All right. And a man whose Baltimore baseball team is finally starting to play better baseball, but you still might die if you go to the games. Scotty Too Hotty, how are you, sir?
Doing good and getting worse.
That was interesting. When's the last time you graced the inside of Camden Yards?
I've only been to one game. I was like probably 14.
Did you bring body armor?
No, it's not that bad.
Oh. Let's go park your car out there. See what happens.
Yeah,
I was there last year, so
just don't make a wrong turn. You're good.
When Scotty parks the Let's Not Do This Lexus out there, we'll see what happens.
We got a Lexus?
Yeah, well, we don't let you in it, Chris, for obvious reasons. And the man who rides in the very back of the bus, that was a bad Rosa Parks joke, so I was going to make there, but I stopped. One, Chris Green, how are you, sir?
I'm confused.
Sexually? You've been that way for years.
Oh, shit. Where did the shades come from?
Yeah, bright.
That
It's bright like our future.
What gas station did you buy those shades from, and did you get a free tank with it?
They're from Target.
Oh, well, did you get a... I'm going to stop that joke as well. This is called self-censorship, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we had to edit some shit last week, so thankfully.
That wasn't our fault.
It
Well,
was
it was Leon's
bad.
fault.
It was bad
it was
timing.
Leon's fault.
It was bad timing.
Yeah. Listen, if someone's going to get this podcast canceled, it's going to be the mouth of the South right here. All right. Well, a team from the South that did not win the title was the Miami Heat yesterday. This, praise be to Allah, the NBA season is finally over. We don't have to hear about it. I'm very excited. I watched not 1 minute, but you see this hat right here? That's the Colorado State flag because my Denver Nuggets
You got to turn a little bit more fast.
first-time champions there in the National Basketball Association, winning the series 4-1. And Nikola Jokic, did I say that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The man.
Your MVP there of the finals there. Now he can go back to Serbia and hang out with his horses. I'm very excited.
But not until like Friday.
Yeah. Apparently he was not enthused about the parade, right?
Yeah, he wanted to go home.
Yeah, I guess he didn't
The
know
hell
when
out
the
of Denver.
parade was because he was like, the parade's Thursday. He was like, fuck. He's like, I want to go home.
Ryan, what happened to in the man they call, quote, playoff Jimmy?
I think playoff Jimmy got tired.
Yeah, he ran out of gas.
And I think playoff Jimmy was hurt too. He probably won't admit to it, but when he hurt his ankle in that Knicks series, I think it really never got 100% and just progressively got worse on him. But Denver had too much. I mean, when they played their A game, the Heat couldn't match that rate of offense or defense, it seems like, at some points of the series.
Scotty, do you feel like this is a sort of a dynasty? Can Denver make a run here?
They could. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen in the West. You have so many, like, Phoenix is going to get better. The Lakers will try to get better. You never know with their moves, but there are just so many teams in the West that are going to make moves. I mean, they definitely have Jokic, they have the coaching, they have the supporting players. So, I mean, they could. It's really hard to do, though.
Everybody that played in the series is under contract except for Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Bruce Brown will probably be gone. But
They'll bring back a very good team.
I still didn't know that was a real person. He really sounds like somebody's drunk uncle at the barbecue.
yeah, but I don't know if they can just stay steady with their team. Like, they need to.
No,
everybody else is going to get better, so they can't get.
They
like,
can't rest on the laurels.
Right.
Did Jamal Murray make another sex tape to celebrate?
Not yet.
I
Not
forgot
that
about
I've
that.
seen.
Okay, well, she was an attractive girl.
There's still time. It's a long week of celebrating.
Hey,
Denver, so.
the parade has not happened yet. You can't count that out.
That's
So
true.
yeah,
It could
when
be
you-
on a float.
Yeah, but when you shoot 5 from 28 from 3 and still win the game, I mean, they're going to be good for a long time. But Dynasty is, we'll see.
Fun fact about your boy Michael Porter Jr. is that he made 40 plus $1 million on his, I think, 24-25 contract because he hit all the bonuses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like number of minutes played. He's oft injured, and
Right.
it was something else. Like he's had to score so many points, and if they won a title, if he had all 3 of those this year, he got guaranteed like $40 million for his contract in 24-25, which is, I think, is crazy.
Good for
that's,
him.
that's not my boy. He played. He wasn't hitting shots last night, and that's usually all he can do. But last night he was diving on the floor. He was playing hard. He kept them in the
played his
game.
ass off.
About time.
He kept them in the
Damn.
game in that stretch where it was kind of like they could have got blown out. He kind of kept them in it.
Man was the next coming of, I don't know, when he came out of high school.
Out of high school,
Yeah, he was
and then
supposed to
he
be
had
the
back
man.
surgery,
Yeah, he
so-
was like, oh, this guy's the next LeBron, maybe. Who knows?
Well, Chris, Michael Porter has hit his escalators in the contract that gives you something to look forward to too. When you go to the gas station and you squeegee all those windshields, you might be able to escalate your contract if you hit like a certain amount per hour. You never know. You never know.
I got nothing for that. All I know is I was the one who predicted the finals correctly.
I did too. I said Denver in 5
Or 6.
Rewind it back. I said
5 or 6. That's what you said.
okay. Rewind it back. You said Denver in 5, and I said you bitch. You took my pick. I said Denver in 5. I said if Miami wins game 1 because there was a long layoff, it would be in 6.
Well, my Nuggets have the title there now,
Your
and
Nuggets.
I will.
The guy who's never seen a Denver Nuggets game this millennia.
But he has seen chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I have seen chicken nuggets, and when I go back to Denver, I will get myself a nug from the shop there. I'm like, fuck, I forgot the name of the sub shop now. All the subs are pot themed.
Oh, I thought you were actually talking about
A dispensary.
Well, I may partake in the city. It is a mile high. Anyway,
You would have
so-
enjoyed the game last night, Leon.
Well, Denver has their first title now. That leaves 10 teams in the National Basketball Association who have not won a title. The Utah Jazz last appeared in the finals in 98, no titles. Phoenix also no titles, last appeared in the finals in 2021. The Brooklyn, formerly New Jersey Nets, last appeared as the New Jersey Nets in 03, somewhere Michael Biseglia is crying hysterically. The Orlando Magic, Scotty Tuhati, last appeared in 2009. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't know the Magic had been to the finals in 09.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Dwight Howard.
They beat LeBron.
I had no idea. And then the Indiana Pacers last appeared in the finals in 2000. The Charlotte Hornets, who have never been. The LA Clippers, who have never been. The Memphis Grizzlies, who have never been. Though John Morant may be going to jail for a while, maybe, who knows. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who have never been. And the New Orleans Pelicans, who have never been. So of those 10 teams remaining, Ryan, you're the Rain Man of basketball here with us. I'll start with you. What team do you feel of those 10 has the best opportunity to win the finals before the others?
Well, I mean, I guess 2 months ago I would have said the Grizzlies, but
Yeah.
I don't think Ja Morant's going to be around anytime soon. I don't know, man. I mean, if you look at it on paper and everything works out well with the health of this team, the Clippers definitely should be a team that does it with, Paul George and Kawhi and Westbrook. I mean, if all those guys can stay healthy and they can kind of put something together for more than a month of the season, they could probably do something in the playoffs. But again, that never comes to pass for them.
Yeah, I thought everybody was going to pick the Suns. That's the obvious pick, as long as they don't sign James Harden. But you know who I'm going with?
The Orlando Magic?
The Orlando Magic.
Oh God.
Is Nick
And-
Anderson still there?
No.
Okay.
So it's 99% my fandom. But, I mean, you never know what could happen. They got Paulo Banchero. They got Franz Wagner. They got a lot of young guys. If they can convince a couple of free agents to come,
They can't.
no state tax in Florida.
They want to live in Kissimmee and commute in, I guess?
If Paulo can become the superstar that he has the potential to be, he can convince somebody to come over. I mean,
And the Bucks and the Celtics and the Sixers all leave the league.
Yeah, exactly.
well, we're talking about just the teams that haven't won one.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying for them to get there, they're more than likely have to beat, at least one of those teams
I feel like if there
along
was
the way.
if there was relegation,
Maybe Giannis comes to Orlando. You never know.
oh yeah, because he always wanted to see
Wow.
Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he seems like a guy that, because he says he wants to build his team and win. But if he goes to another small market, I mean, it's not like he's selling out to go to the Lakers or do whatever.
Where does he
Keep dreaming.
Doesn't he own part of a soccer team now? I forget which one it is.
Olympiacos, maybe?
No, it's an American. It's an MLS
Oh.
team. He's got a part ownership in it.
Yeah,
I
who
need
cares?
to look that up. And maybe St. Louis. Maybe they can get an expansion team again. All right, Chris. What about you? Who on that list gets a title first?
I'm gonna go outside the box and go with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're young, they're scrappy, and
So-
Chet Holmgren's gonna come back.
Did I skip over them on that list? No, they've won a title before.
No, they have not.
Haven't they won a title as the Sonics?
I think they, yeah,
Does that
in the
count?
article they counted the Sonics.
Yeah,
I think.
that counts. It's all the same franchise.
But you're gonna say all the reasons I said for Orlando for OKC, but I'm dumb.
Yeah, but they have an All NBA player on their team,
Who?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay. he's really good.
All right. Well,
he
if
shouldn't have been all NBA
If the
player.
Thunder are eliminated from that, then because I pulled up a different article, sorry, because I didn't pay attention to any of the teams you said.
Of course not.
I'm gonna go Indiana.
Pacers.
Tyrese Halliburton, young, scrappy.
Will the Davis brothers come back? You know what? I'm gonna where Mike? I'm thinking about you, buddy. I'm gonna go with the Brooklyn Nets to win one before it's all said and done. Couldn't tell you a single player. Couldn't tell you a single thing. It's just a major market team.
not a bad
Eventually, they got to figure it out.
Nuclear holocaust will happen before the Brooklyn Nets win.
Whoa, there, Kyrie.
I know people still want to go there. I can see the Nets. I would say Suns, Nets, Clippers, Magic.
To answer your question, Giannis and his two brothers, own part of the Nashville SC.
Nashville SC, my former MLS side piece. I forgot about that.
What?
I am a DC United fan,
Okay.
and I have a friend who was the former voice of Nashville SC. He's no longer there anymore. So they were my MLS side
Did he
piece.
get fired?
No, he's now the voice of the Virginia Cavaliers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
we like him.
So he got demoted.
How do you not
He
know
got
this, Chris?
promoted.
How do you not know
What?
this?
I don't know my announcers' history.
Yeah, I don't know MLS announcers.
Yeah,
Sorry.
nobody does because those games don't get played on the radio, do they?
Well,
No,
we'll
those
probably
games
know
are right.
Miami's. We'll know Miami's
Spanish.
announcer.
No,
I've never been in DC and heard a DC United
you
game.
got to listen to El Zol, sir. Spanish radio, okay? And Scotty, you mentioned Miami. The big news this past week: Lionel Messi coming to MLS, coming to Miami. Hopefully, he stays away from Conor McGregor because Conor gave the old 1-2 to the Miami Heat mascot. What was that thing's name? Does anyone know that thing's
Bernie.
name? Bernie. I feel like that's a bad name for a Miami mascot.
The Heat, you
Heat
burn.
Really?
Bernie.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
the yeah. That's
It should
the
be like
thing.
something that's like Cuban, like Gustavo or something.
That could be racist.
That might be racist.
There it is.
No, it's like playing up the Scarface, like Manuel or something. You know, like
You're
again.
not helping. That might be racist.
Jesus.
I don't know, Tony Montana. Fine, name it Tony Montana.
Bernie is bad though.
But-
Yeah. it's
So,
not.
so is this a bit? The other night we are going, obviously time traveling back a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Mascot comes out, Connor hits him, knocks him down, then he finishes him off. Did he take it too far? Was that
Yes.
scripted? Was it?
No.
No, those were
It
full
was-
full shots. Like he
That
wasn't
follow-up-
holding up on
Good
any of his on
God.
those punches.
Yeah,
Probably do we know what the injuries are? Because he
went
could
to
have
the
broke
E-
his face.
He went to the ER, but he was released, and
next
apparently,
morning.
yeah, he was going to be ready if there was a next game. He was going to be able to perform,
Just
but
like-
obviously he doesn't need it.
just like Tyler Hero.
Wow.
Yeah. So he never misses an opportunity to just
Hit whoever he wants
beat
to.
up a vulnerable person.
Yeah,
Whether
old
it's an
people
old
in the
guy at a
bar.
bar,
Yeah.
a
It was-
mascot,
It was for his
Women.
pain spray, right?
a bus full of
Allegedly.
people. Yeah.
It was for his pain spray or whatever it's called.
Was it?
Yeah, did you see him at the end? He was spraying the spray that he's
that's
that
what
he's
he was
promoting.
doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he promoting that magic shit like in soccer where you can take a bullet like JFK and then all of a sudden they spray it on you and you get back
I
up?
think it's something similar to
He
that. Yeah,
should've
but
sprayed
yeah,
his
if you
leg
watch
after
the
that
clip
Poirier fight.
when they're dragging Bernie off the floor,
Yeah.
he's behind him spraying him with the
I was
with the
wondering.
pain thing.
I was wondering
pain
what he
spray.
was doing.
Can-
'Cause
can
I
we
think the
spray-
first punch was probably scripted, but
Yeah.
that
The
when he
follow
was
Yeah,
on
I
the
think that
ground.
follow up got him.
Yeah,
See,
because he hit
that
him
was-
right
that was-
directly in the nose.
That was Dan Henderson hitting Michael Bisping
Yes.
after he knocked him
See,
out.
you can't fault him for that. Okay.
Yes, the fuck you can.
No, because instinct took over at that point. It's like you put a piece of meat in front of a lion's gonna fuck it up.
If
all
I
right?
hit you and you fell down, I would not hit you again because I know you would die.
But you're not a professional fighter. That's the thing. Something triggered in his brain.
So you're saying he has CTE?
I'm saying that it's muscle memory. It's repetitive.
He was on cocaine.
You know, it's like putting I was gonna make a
Well-
porn star reference there. I'm gonna pull that one back too.
He hasn't won a fight in a couple years, so he was probably like, "Oh shit, this is my chance."
He's used to be the one getting knocked out like that. So
You can see the people that worked for the Heat on the court, like literally, like the first punch, they all were standing still, like, oh, that's part of the bit. But the second one, a guy that was directly behind Connor, literally came from behind Connor and kind of grabbed him away, like, this isn't part of the script. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, they were either doing a really good job of acting or they were like legit concerned. Like,
Right.
dude, what are you doing?
I mean, that guy was close enough to see if that punch was pulled or did that actually
yeah.
contact this dude's face or the Bernie's face.
There's probably not a lot of protection like right at your nose, right?
no.
That's why you hit him like in the cheek or whatever, because you got the
It depends. Like that costume, I don't know. Some of the other mascot costumes I've been around and seen the inside of. And I spent a lot of time looking at
Why?
the inside of mascot
Yeah,
costumes. In a former life, I spent some time with these people and doing things like that.
okay.
But no, like usually there's a little bit more padding. That looked a little thin there, so I don't know. But you know what? I think that mascot put up a better fight than whoever that tomato can that Amanda Nunes was fighting Saturday night, right?
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You guys watched this fight. I did not. I was passed out, inebriated, so I did not join you for this fight. But tell
Thank
me,
Thank you for not showing up.
any day I don't see you, Chris. You know, I praise Allah.
Wow, you converting today or something? That's two references.
Oh, yeah.
I've said enough
you
things
say-
that I'm trying to get the.
If you say it 3 times, I think he shows up.
Well, after one of you guys got the fatwa against us a couple of weeks ago, I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to bring it back.
Gotcha.
But no, like I guess this was the old fashioned ass whoop.
Well,
Is it an ass whooping if the other person doesn't even like fight?
well,
or is it just a scrimmage?
That was embarrassing.
Nunes dominated, but she didn't really hurt the other girl either. I guess maybe I was trying to tell myself that there was going to be a fight. I thought maybe she was just trying to do the rope-a-dope and wear her out because she literally just had her hands like this over her face the whole time. I'm like, oh, maybe she's trying to wear her out. And she just never got going. She never really threw anything. She landed one good punch, and that was it.
It really seemed like she was scared, Leon. I mean, like, it looked like she just did not want to get knocked out. It was like she was surviving more than she was actually trying to win.
So
Yeah, I think she panicked. Like, the moment was too big for her.
I don't understand how you would panic for 25 minutes. Like, at a certain point, you're like, all right, I'm in a fight. This is what I do for a living. I've been doing for however long in my life. I need to punch back.
Chris panicked once for 15 seconds. We all know about that. But
We got proof.
What?
What?
Chris, what were your impressions?
I really thought that she would come out and actually box with her, but she didn't. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. I don't know if she was intimidated or if she had a game plan and it went out the window. But it was not good. It was embarrassing. She probably should not be anywhere near a title shot in the next 3 years.
So Nunes retires after the fight. Is she done for good, do you think? Or is it, because fighters say they're retired and come back all the time. It's like racing drivers,
I think she's done.
Money talks.
So she had 2 belts now that she's hung it up, right?
Yep.
Right.
All right. So now what happens? There's like an open tournament. Does it go to
Well,
the...
Dana pretty much already said the featherweight division was kind of
145
shaky
is
anyways.
dead.
Yeah, he said that's probably done now.
What do you mean by done?
Like done, like no more
There's no-
featherweight.
They're
no
just
more-
going to eliminate that
Yeah, there was
division?
only
Right.
two
we
or
were-
three
I was
people that were in both divisions anyways. So.
Yeah, we were looking at the rankings actually Saturday, and we're looking at featherweight, and they didn't have rankings posted, so we thought that was kind of weird. And then they straight up asked Dana after the fight, "Does this mean that the featherweight division is done?" He said, "Yeah, probably."
Interesting.
It's just no money in it. There's no contenders or no name fighters.
Yeah.
It's just a dead division. It's like, I don't know if UFC didn't recruit fighters for that division or UFC just found that there was no fighters worthy of even bringing the UFC.
The division was built. It was made for Cyborg, and then
Right.
Nunes knocked her out, and that was the end of that. I think she defended it, twice?
Yeah, something like that.
It's not necessary. There's not enough good 145ers out there. So
Yeah, he's just probably saving money.
But I think, I don't know if I heard this or I made this up in my head, it's going to be Pena and Pennington for the 135 belt.
I've heard that.
Possibly. Pennington was the backup for this fight. So,
Exactly. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just you know. I
it's
mean,
not
that fight,
exciting, but
yeah.
Juliana
Yeah.
Pena I think she'll be a good champ.
They're going to need some young girls there.
Well, that's the thing, and they need competition. It just
Yeah.
can't be Pena knocking out everybody now. Now that Nunes is gone, they need
Right.
like another contender. You know what I'm saying?
There's only 2 or 3 girls in each division now that like you could say, oh, I could see her being a champ. So they're going to need some of these young girls to step up.
Other than 155, that's pretty much every division.
I don't know. I mean,
But you got young guys that you can say, hey, like I could see them maybe one day.
And then they run into fucking whoever, any gatekeeper that's out there that's been around for 20 years. Jim Miller destroys people's futures all the time.
I mean, 170 is pretty deep for the men. I mean, you got Usman, Covington, Edwards. If Cosmont figures out which division he wants to be in,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty deep, you know. But yeah, I get you, man. It's kind of about a 3 or 4 man division, pretty much every division in UFC now, which is kind of weird because it seemed like there was more contenders, I don't know, 2 years ago.
Yeah, but the gatekeepers keep beating them and they just get lost in the ether.
Yeah, well, Dana also keeps jumping a lot of these people up too far too soon.
Well, Dana's probably got CTE too. So
Well,
it's either that or cocaine.
a city that probably has a lot of cocaine is Jacksonville. I don't know if you all have been there, but I have, and there's some parts that looks like it might have a little bit of cocaine there. But Jaguars are looking at redoing TIAA Bank Field, and they're looking at making some massive renovations. This thing looks like a spaceship, like a Death Star or something like that. It would require them to essentially play away from home for a couple of years while they get this done. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Jaguars are talking to Daytona and talking to Daytona Speedway, where the Daytona 500 is taking place, about playing football games there. What say you guys about NFL at a NASCAR track? Chris, I'll start with you.
So they're going to build bleachers on the actual track to bring the view in, or what?
I would imagine, well, you brought up when we were talking before the show started, Virginia Tech played Tennessee at Bristol Motor Speedway a few years ago. And I know they had people in the stands, like on the banks and stuff like that. I can't remember, Scotty, you're the resident Hokie. Were there bleachers on the field? Like,
I don't think so. But I'm not sure.
I mean, you can pack over 150,000, 200,000 probably into Daytona.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you got the track, and then you got the sidelines, and then you get to the field. It's not going to be a great sight line for anybody.
I think
To be honest, I mean, it might be different now that they're actually decent, but not a lot of people were going to the games anyways.
yeah, I think it's more about the unique experience of the event, though. Like to say that you went to Daytona, which Daytona's hosted college football before in the mid '70s. They've done like Bethune-Cookman, like some HBCU games. But the spectacle involved in that. And then, of course, you got to worry about scheduling and figure things out because, like, the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona is there later in the year and stuff like that. But I would be totally down for that. And then Florida, Georgia would have to go to home and home sites for a couple of years while they get that done. But
I think they should have a race while the football game is going on. That'd be cool as fuck. Can you imagine the football just bouncing off a windshield after a field goal?
somehow it would be Bubba Wallace's windshield. We all know it would
Lord.
That's how you kill somebody.
be. Speaking of which,
NASCAR needs some excitement.
Can you imagine trying to call an audible? Like, cars 200 miles an hour just whizzing by you.
Speaking of which, I think yesterday was like the 40th anniversary. There was some guy, I think it was Pocono, who ran 30 or 40th anniversary. He ran across the track during the middle of a race. He got out of the stands, ran across the track. And I believe Kyle Petty was leading the race. And Kyle Petty probably missed him of about 3 seconds. But 3 seconds on the race car is, not
That long.
that long there. And he climbed the wall. And then, like, the firefighters had to rescue him later because he ended up starting a brush fire not far from the track.
What?
Yeah.
The good old days.
Yeah, that guy was living his life that night.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be happening in any Jaguar games. But is there another venue that you guys franchise would like to see hosting the NFL game. I mean, like, what, the Saints played at LSU, I think, once during Katrina, right? And I know the Vikings played at the University of Minnesota Stadium while the U.S. Bank Stadium was being built. I think the Bears have played at the University of Illinois while Soldier Field was getting redone. I don't know what else I would like to see. Maybe, like, could the Bills play at, like, Watkins Glen, maybe?
Yeah, I don't care that much. If it's on TV, I'll watch it. If
I was
not,
gonna say
don't care.
Maybe some baseball stadiums. I think it's always funny when you see like a diamond in the middle of a field, like Wrigley, like Wrigley or Fenway or something.
You just solved it. Let's do the Commanders at Nationals Park.
That was the problem with Oakland. Everybody got hurt on the dirt. No,
We're just talking about like a game or two.
Yeah.
No.
I would love that.
I just feel like NFL should do more games at college stadiums. Like, I would love to see the production that they put on for a Rose Bowl game, have that for a marquee Monday night game, and have, like, I don't know, San Francisco play whoever, Kansas City, and have it like at the Rose Bowl and all that production. Rose Bowl is one of the most beautiful. I watch the Rose Bowl game every year just to see the stadium and the sight lines and just the pageantry and everything. I mean, it's a beautiful game to watch, even if you don't care two shits about Ohio State playing Utah. You know.
Well, now let's extrapolate that. Let's take the Commanders and put them at Capital One Field in College Park, Maryland. Could you
anything's better than that piece of shit they play at now?
Could you think of a shittier venue to go watch a game?
No.
Yeah.
Where they play now, where you literally get shit dumped on you.
But I mean, it's befitting of the franchise.
It's almost over, Scotty. It's almost over.
Is it not?
Well, yeah, we still got to wait a few years to get a new stadium.
Yeah, that stadium, they're
Snyder,
talking,
man.
They're talking 29, 2030 now.
Maybe they'll contract the team. I'd be in favor of it. Well, Dalvin Cook right now is waiting to look for a new team. He was released by the Minnesota Vikings. Lots of different destinations coming up for him. I've seen the 49ers come up. I've seen the Patriots come up, especially after they inexplicably released James Robinson after like 3 weeks. Dallas has been bantered about, certainly Miami. Where do you think he winds up? Do you think there's any tread left on the tires? I mean, Minnesota certainly beat the hell out of him, running, catching. I mean, he was doing a little bit of everything for that Vikings offense.
He had over 1,000 yards last year. Why? There's still tread. Anybody but Dallas. I really don't care where he goes, but
hater.
Yeah,
let him go to Dallas.
You know, Dallas had a porta potty catch on fire outside the stadium the other day. I think it was quite befitting.
That was just Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, and now Dalvin Cook
He's not a Cowboy anymore, so
Dalvin Cook being on the market, and James Robinson as well. That can't bode well for Zeke right now either. I would take
James
those
Robinson got cut probably because he's still hurt.
Yeah,
I don't think
Zeke will land somewhere. Not that he's any good. Cook's probably going to end up in Miami. I think that's the most logical place. They have a couple guys he can share the load with. He turns 28 in August. I think that decline's coming pretty quick. That's probably why Minnesota let him go.
Yeah, because you don't want to pay a running back on the wrong side of 30. He's not there yet, but he's getting there.
I don't see him making that big of an impact.
He's going to go to Buffalo.
Yeah, I think the dark horse is still Buffalo, just because his brother's there.
Yeah,
I don't know. The family thing sometimes will pull you to make you do things maybe you wouldn't necessarily do. I mean, he doesn't seem like a Buffalo guy. He seems like he may want to go to the warm weather since I think he's from Florida, but I could see him maybe going to Buffalo.
Buffalo or Cincinnati if their running back keeps having people die in his front yard.
Whoa there. Joe Mixon.
It was only one.
Wow.
It was only he also knocked out a woman too, so
he's
allegedly.
He's got a history.
Yeah, I don't know if that was allegedly. That was
on
video right there. Yeah. Smile your own candid camera. You know what I mean? Like
Joe Mixon's got an issue, so maybe they cut ties with him and sign Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see the Vikings. I don't know quite what they're doing right now, and Justin Jefferson needs to get paid, and Kirk Cousins taking strays from Cam Jordan on podcast.
Kirk Cousins is terrible. I hope you hit the golf button there because we still heard that.
Well, it was coming through loud, clear there. But you know what? It'll wash down this ice cold beer. And if you can sponsor Let's Not Do This, we'll gladly drink your beer. Unless you're Bud Light.
Sure will. No, we'll still take it.
Bud Light too.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Baltimore tap water. I'm not drinking that. It's not even for the reasons that people are boycotting it now. It just tastes like shit. I'm not drinking.
Well, it tastes better if they sponsor us.
It tastes better if you pay us. Exactly.
Amazing.
I might just kill that relationship. So.
We will take your part of the
Yeah.
of the
If we get a
sponsorship.
Bud Light sponsorship, Leon, you can just pack your bags and go.
All right,
We'll
so
soldier on without you.
PGA Tour packing their bags this week, heading out west to Los Angeles, the LA Country Club. You know this club, by the way, everyone thinks like LA Country Club. It's like celebrities all over the place. You know, this club like tries to keep a low profile. They don't really have a lot of like highfalutin celebrity membership. It's a lot of like lawyers and bankers and investors, kind of people like that. I actually kind of respect that about them.
Money's money.
Yeah. Interesting course. They have 5 par 5s. You don't see a lot of that at golf courses. And they even got one, including the 15th hole. One day this week, that par 5 is going to play around 75 yards. It's going to be so short. You're talking like lob wedge in there. Yeah, 75-yard par 5. But then they have some par 4s that are over 500 yards.
Okay.
Seems like a
What?
Seems like a.
Seven-
I mean,
Slalom
a par
course.
3, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I can't. My brain.
I was like, I
It's
know
the
I don't know
hops.
much about golf, but that seems a little off to me.
It's the hops. I take that back. A 75-yard par 3, excuse me. Then there's some par 4s that are over 500 yards. It's an interesting course there. But all right, I'll start off picks for this week, guys. U.S. Open. I'm going to give you my long shot first. I'm going to go with Colin Morikawa.
Motherfucker, that was my guy.
You can pick the same guy.
Yeah, you can pick the same.
Yeah, but I don't want to pick the same guy he picks because he's terrible at this.
I'm great at golf. Colin Morikawa, he's coming in right now at 35-1. 2-time major champ, 2020 PGA and the 2021 Open Championship. He withdrew from the Memorial last week. After the third round with back spasms, he was 4 under, 2 strokes off the lead. He's accurate off the tee, which is so important here. And he's also played here before. 2017 Walker Cup, who also was on that team with him, Scotty Scheffler and Will Zalatoris. That's my long shot this week. But my horse for the course, I'm going with Patrick Cantlay. He is plus 1,600. 14 top 10 finishes in desert style or California golf courses, including a top 3 at the Genesis Invitational earlier this year. George C. Thomas designed Riviera, where the Genesis was. He also designed LA Country Club as well. This course, driver heavy. Cantlay is second in strokes gained off the tee, only behind Scotty Scheffler. I'm going with Patrick Cantlay at plus 1,600 for my winner this week.
Are you fucking done yet?
Somebody did their
He
research.
took, he,
Jesus.
he took longer than Patrick Cantlay does to play around in golf.
It's golf, baby.
Anyways, the reason I was going to pick Morikawa is because he lived down the street from this place, and his parents lived down the street still, and he got to sleep in his childhood home this week. Good rest.
Okay. So is that your winner?
That's my winner.
All right.
35-1.
Hey,
Well,
cash and checks.
so last week I picked Scotty Scheffler, and he didn't even play. So this
Way to
week,
go.
yeah,
Probably look at
Wow.
yeah. So this week I'm gonna try to pick somebody that's playing. Scheffler is actually the favorite, but I don't know. I can't bet on him until he starts making a couple putts. So I'm gonna go still kind of chalky, but I'm gonna go John Rahm, long shot, Justin Thomas.
All right. Ryan?
My favorite, or the guy I think is going to win, is Victor Hovland. I think this guy has been playing very well this year. Again, I'm not familiar with that course at all, so I don't know, if his game fits that course. But I feel like sometimes with majors, guys that are knocking on the door, sometimes these majors sometimes are where they get their first big win, and they'll get better and have a decent career. He's 25, so he is fairly young, but it's usually guys can usually guys that age usually do make that breakthrough in majors. So I'm on Victor Hovland big time this week. And long shot, kind of going back and forth on that, but I don't know. Max Homa always seems like he does well in the LA area.
Yeah, he's an LA guy.
Right, he's an LA guy. Again, he doesn't do well in majors, so that's not a strong suit of his, but I think he may at least probably do top 10, I say, here at the U.S. Open this week.
Yeah, I'm going to change my pick. Morikawa withdrew because of a back injury, and
Shit.
he says he's pain-free, but that doesn't mean anything.
He's young. He's at 10 days to
Said he's
get
going to
ready.
have to squat down to put his tee in the ground to begin each hole.
Maybe sleeping in that childhood bed hurt his back.
It may no, that was
last
after,
week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm going to change my pick to Xander Schauffele.
All right, Xander Schauffele. Max Homa, though, I was on the fence with Max as well. Another guy's got too much talent, just waiting to kind of bust through there and get that major. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting course. And by the way, I love it. All these things are going to finish in prime time. We get some prime time golf this week. It's going to be great. NCAA College World Series starting off on Friday. Final 4 teams left. We got Oral Roberts and TCU on Friday. Virginia and Florida.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, Stanford and Wake Forest in the nerd matchup. And then Tennessee and LSU. Guys, I want to start off here on this one. Of the 8 teams that are left, as much as it pains me to take a rival of NC State's, I'm going to go with Wake Forest to win this whole damn thing. Demon Deacons' first trip to Omaha since '55. They beat Bama 22-5 in the deciding game of the Supers. They have a plus 59 run differential, which is the most ever for a team in Omaha. They set an NCAA record with 9 dingers in Super Regional as well. They're killing the baseball, and they have good pitching to boot. The number 1 team usually doesn't win this thing, but Wake is just a rocket right now. I'm going with the Deeks to win this whole fucking thing. Christopher, tell me why Virginia will win, and I'll tell you why they'll lose.
Wow. Their pitching has been pretty good when they've had their best pitchers out there. They're hitting. They play small ball. Geloff can hit the long ball. Kyle Teal, leadership, the guy behind the plate, calls a great game. I think they're going to win it all.
Facing former Virginia Cavalier Kevin O'Sullivan, coaching the Florida Gators in the opening matchup there. Scotty, I know we're talking about baseball, Virginia Tech.
I was gonna wear some Florida colors since they're playing UVA, but it's like
They're the same
it's like
colors.
similar
Same
colors.
yeah.
So, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Oral Roberts because who doesn't like Oral?
Yeah.
Hey, it was a baseball powerhouse in the 80s, and they are the Cinderella.
Okay. Well, I am 1-0 lifetime betting on college baseball. So
Well, that's only because Texas doesn't know how to catch a routine can of corn there.
yeah, it happens.
That was heartbreaking last night.
They couldn't have it to a nice bunch of assholes. So.
Well, Stanford thought they had the game won before that too.
Orange-Dale. You know, that's what I do.
The whole last inning was just hilarious.
Ryan, sadly, our North Carolina State Wolfpack are nowhere near the College World Series this year, but what are you going with here?
That is a great segue because I'm going to pick LSU to win because of Tommy White.
Tommy Tanks.
Former NC State Wolfpack. Last year, he transferred to LSU. You know, if I didn't like him leaving, but, you know, if you're going to leave, might as well try to win the whole thing. So I like him. Paul Skeens, they got a horse at pitcher. Usually pitching wins these things. It's not about, you know, the hits because usually that park in Omaha plays big. Most years it plays really big. So these games are usually 3-2, 4-3. It's not like old Rosenblatt when they were, you know,
flying out of there.
Games would be 11-12 or 12-11 or whatever. So going with LSU, just got a hunch.
I can't believe Skeens was at Air Force, by the way. With that kind of talent, how do you wind up at Air Force? And I think I read somewhere he still maybe wants to go into Air Force when baseball is done.
That's what
Good
he's
for
saying.
him. Wanting to serve his country.
Do they transfer in baseball like they do in the other sports?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole NCAA is wide open now. Field hockey, gymnastics, people are transferring everywhere now.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So transitioning away from the sports now, we saw a couple interesting stories this week as my stories go away from me here. One of the things that I saw, and I believe this was in China, and I don't know, maybe it's the dating customs there.
That might be racist.
I don't know. But there was a gentleman that went on a blind date with a woman. Now, Chris, a date is when you take a girl out and you are courting her. You'll learn about this one day. So he takes a woman out. She shows up with 23 of her relatives.
Whoa.
On the blind date. And he was expected to pay for her, him, and all 23 relatives on this blind date at the restaurant.
That's
Obviously, he did not. He got the bill, which was 20,000 won, which is approximately $2,812.
Jesus.
He left the restaurant and agreed to reimburse her for a fraction of the total cost, offering 4,000 won, which is about $562.
Fuck.
She asked her relatives to pay for their share of the bill. They went to court. There was a lawsuit filed by her. Finally, after everything was said and done in court, they ruled in the guy's favor, saying that he should only cover the cost of his own meal and her meal, which was approximately 1,400 won, which is $197.
Jesus Christ. Did they get... God.
Well, it's 23 people at a restaurant. I mean, that's going to be a big tab.
I get
So,
that.
so women in China are crazy just like they are over here. That might be racist.
Sexist.
Well, my first question to this whole thing is, why did the guy stay? I
That's a
go
good
on a first date with somebody, and there's like the girl, and then I see behind her like her third cousin, her aunt, her babies, her cousin's baby mama. Like, wait, what's going on?
Yep. I'm
Two
going
things.
to the bathroom and then I'm out.
Yeah,
Two
pretty
things.
much.
I don't have 23 people in my family that I like enough to go to dinner with. And second,
Philly's mutual.
he walks in and he's like, son of a bitch, I'm not getting laid tonight.
Oh, that's got to be one of the first thoughts in your head. You talk about a cock block. That's a 23-man cock block right there. It's like a ladder match. It's like WWE, like
It's a battle royale.
yeah. You got to go through a gauntlet there.
Yeah, if you bring any family members to a date, you're paying a tab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who brings family to a date?
He
Right.
shouldn't have even had to pay for her at that point. I don't
Yeah.
know how the courts decided that. Maybe it's
Maybe
like
it's
a
a
thing in China where
custom
like,
or
the
something.
man's supposed to pay, but yeah,
Whatever.
you
Yeah,
bring
that's fucking
any family
crazy.
members, maybe a kid, but anybody else.
Okay,
Not for a first date.
no. I'm not paying for no
I said
one's kid.
maybe. I said maybe.
I don't listen.
Well, we know you're not going to do that, but you're also the only married one here. So your
I thought
opinion
you were
doesn't
talking-
really
Well,
matter.
if I was a single man and I show up and you bring your kid, I'm not paying for that. I'm not doing it. All right.
Again, I don't see how this date even like went 2 seconds. Again, if
Maybe
I
she
walk
was-
in and she has 23 relatives,
She must
I'm
have been
saying
really fucking hot.
good night.
She must have been hot.
Good luck with your life.
I would love to see that tab, by the way. How many like crab rangoons are on there? Like who got the wine?
Hit the fucking button.
That might be racist.
What's wrong with a crab rangoon?
They could have been eating American food.
Yeah.
How do you know where they were?
Could have been at Burger
Eating
King.
American food. Nobody wants a
Well, it
goddamn
wasn't Burger
Big
King.
Mac.
We know that.
Well,
How
wherever they
often?
are.
How often does she do this? She probably started off with like 2 or 3 family members, and she just
What?
kept adding one and one and one and one.
What family would
Just-
actually do that, though? Like,
mean-
how fucking insane are these people?
That's a gigantic red flag right there, though. Can you imagine, like, if he continued to court this woman, like, wait, when you go to like have sex the first time, and there's like Uncle Lou's outside the door, like, what's going on here? Like,
red flag.
you
man.
go on
Red
vacation,
flag.
you gotta pay for like the whole family. You gotta dig up grandma and bring her on vacation too.
Maybe he thought they were all like her friends at first, and he was like, "Hey, now
23 people?
23. There's dudes. Maybe he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not there's anything wrong with that.
2023. You never know.
It is Pride Month. There's nothing wrong with that.
Is it still Pride Month? Or was that last month?
The whole month of June?
Yeah, I know, but was it? I thought it was, okay. Was it June?
Man.
You can send those emails to Scotty.
Let's not do this podcast.com.
So going on the dating theme here, Chris, once again, you don't know much about this. A woman slept through a date at a Michelin-starred restaurant. Once again, Chris, you don't know anything about that. I know you're used to the Bojangles and the Wendy's.
Michelin.
Michelin.
Jesus Christ.
And they incurred a cancellation fee of $70. The woman does not want to pay the fee, and then she goes on social media to shame the gentleman who proceeded to want the money back there. Who's the asshole here?
The
The
chick.
woman.
Yeah, she's the asshole.
Does the guy look bad? Look, as a guy, when you go out on a date, we're supposed to pay. That's just how it works.
There wasn't a date though.
Yeah, but if she didn't show up, but still, maybe we're supposed to just chalk that one up and say, you know what, it just didn't happen. I wonder, did he? Why didn't he just stay and eat the meal? If I'm at a Michelin-star restaurant, I'm going to eat the meal.
I don't know.
Maybe he was embarrassed. I don't know.
Bro, it's fucking Michelin.
It's Michelin.
It's not. I'm looking at it right now. It was made from the car tire manufacturer.
I have watched enough cooking shows. It's pronounced Michelin.
Oh, they're just European.
They have class.
We've had this conversation about something else with the Michelin.
No, it's the
or
same
Michelin.
conversation. Chris,
Is that why you thought we've talked about this before?
yeah, Chris eats it.
Bro, there's a fucking Michelin man smoking a cigar holding the Michelin guide to the British Isles.
I don't know what you're looking at there. I've never seen that.
The Wikipedia page.
Oh, well, Wikipedia is not a reliable source, sir.
Read it.
I'm not reading that. What? This guy, he eats at Shoney's. Like, what am I talking about here?
Well, I mean,
He gets his restaurant recommendations from like the AAA 3 Diamond Guide. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I mean, Leon, you do say Coors, so
Hey,
instead of Coors.
this ice cold Coors Light is proud sponsor of the Let's Not Do This podcast.
God, you're so fucking frustrated and I hate you so much.
That's what the women say to you too, Christopher. But no, so I guess this woman, we're in agreement that she's a complete asshole on this one. There's no expectation for him to have to foot the bill for all of this.
Fuck that bitch.
If it was me, I probably just would take my losses and pay it. But I don't see no issue with him expecting her to, I mean, maybe go half and pay 35. But yeah, there's no issue with him trying to get her to pay him back for wasting his time.
Yeah, half is like the most I would pay. I'm like, that's just,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. She fell asleep through it, or she didn't want to go out with him,
Or she had another date.
or she had another date.
Rob,
Yeah.
I have heard of this happening too, where women will line up many dates, and she'll go to the first one with this guy, get drinks with this guy, get dinner with this guy, get the dessert with this guy. She might have been running late. Maybe that date beforehand went a little too well.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly. You never know. Maybe this is an elaborate scheme that she's got going all over town.
Maybe she does.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
we'll see what happens there.
hey, man.
And we'll also see what happens with Wheel of Fortune. Pat Sajak finally calling it a career, hanging it up at the end of this next season, I guess, which starts in September, I think it was. So have you seen this where a lot of fans online are clamoring for Vanna White to make the move over and replace Pat Sajak?
Sure. why
It
not?
doesn't feel natural. I don't know. There's also an article I saw with like 6 people lined up for replacements. So Vanna White was number 1. LeVar Burton, of course, of Reading Rainbow fame, number 2. I'm not gonna lie.
Guess
To
he
you.
didn't get Jeopardy, so we'll move to the next one.
I didn't know he was still alive. I'm not just gonna put that out there. By the way, he hosted the greatest episode of Reading Rainbow I ever saw when he went to spring training with the Oakland A's.
He
Dave-
hosted all of the episodes of Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, no, but the best one when he went to the A's. Dave Stewart taught him how to throw the forkball. It was great. John Michael Higgins. I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, he does a lot of shows on Game Show Network.
Scott Rodrowski.
Scott
Don't know.
Rogowski. He
Rogowski.
did was that fucking game that was on the phone?
Apparently, he hosts HQ Trivia.
Yeah.
HQ Trivia. There it is.
Wayne Brady.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
He does Let's Make a Deal now, right?
Yeah.
Michael Strahan.
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
He's just a TV whore. He's like everywhere. Those were the 6 that have been bantered about. And also,
You
I've
missed
seen
one.
Pat Sajak's daughter.
You missed
right?
one.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers? He's not.
He's not in
trying?
the. I think
He's
he's
not in
got
the
his,
mix
little, his hand's a little full.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's in. Is that show? That show is filmed in California, right, or New York?
I think they filmed in California.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say if he was already in New York, you just might as well,
His hand's a little full with the
okay.
with the Gotham football club.
Ayahuasca
Ayahuasca.
and the weed and all that stuff. That's what his hands are full of.
Can we get you some ayahuasca?
Fuck that guy.
Can we get you ayahuasca?
If you can afford it, sure.
Yeah, I can afford a lot of things.
Can you?
Yeah, for money. what did the old what is it? Ted DiBiase Jr. His old theme song. It's just I come from money, I come from class. These ladies love me for all my cash. Something.
Those
something.
are the exact opposite things that you've experienced in your life.
One could dream. But no, who do you guys think should get this Wheel of Fortune job?
I like Scott Rogowski.
I have no idea who this person is.
He was very entertaining on HQ Trivia.
I don't even think anyone should get it. They should just end the show. Who the fuck watches game shows?
Yeah, I haven't.
Everybody still watches.
What,
I watch
if you're like in a nursing home?
Yeah.
Or Ryan.
I watch game shows. I'm not gonna lie.
You're in the target demo.
Hey, man, maybe I am.
By the way, look, we're 49 minutes into the show. That was the first old reference I made to you today.
I
okay?
walked
No, it
into that one.
No, you made an old joke at the beginning.
Well, he's so old he forgot it.
I did actually.
There's 3.
But
If you would have told me like 10 years ago that they canceled Wheel of Fortune, I would have believed you. I didn't know. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll see clips every now and then where people just like fuck up easy.
That's the beauty of the show.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune, and now that like Trebek is dead, like nobody watches Jeopardy. If you're unemployed, you're watching Wayne Brady in the morning, maybe. And if you're very old, you're watching The Price is Right. That's it. And then
Everybody watches the fucking Price is Right.
yeah, The Price is Right is the official show of I have a tummy ache and I'm drinking some ginger ale and I didn't go to work or school.
Exactly.
That's the official show. I have Game Show. Oh, everyone has Game Show Network. When's the last time that you turned to it? When's the last time you watched a game show on Game Show Network?
Yesterday.
I don't.
If not yesterday, Sunday.
I don't have
Jesus
it at my
Christ.
house, but
Yes.
I used to watch
I
it
love
all the
Game
time.
Show Network.
What the fuck is on there? Like Password Plus?
They have their own original shows, like America Says. They have they play a lot of Family Feud. I like the shows. I don't know. Growing up. I watched so many game shows with my mother, which I still do. Grandmother, like that's kind of what I grew up on.
Okay.
I probably got half my intelligence, which
You're
isn't much. through
completely
game
wrong
shows.
on everything you're saying right
Did
now.
you watch the shows with your mom? Like when you were watching it yesterday? I'll give you a pass.
No,
if you want.
not with my mom, but if I'm visiting her, yeah.
Okay.
That's what she likes to watch.
I'll
I
give
watch
you a
them.
pass for that. But if you're at home on your own, you got a 6-pack of beer, you're watching Game Show Network, whatever.
Yeah.
Why are you
Wow.
hating on game shows?
The only game shows I watch now is if I'm at my parents' house. They like to watch Family Feud a lot.
See?
Do you watch?
Which I do enjoy watching that though.
See?
Pretty good, yeah.
Did you watch America's Got Talent?
I don't like the reality shows like that. Not reality, but like talent shows. I don't really watch like American Idol and all that stuff.
You're saying it like people aren't watching. They're getting 5.9 ratings.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid people
Every
in
day.
America. There's a lot of stupid people.
Yeah, you being one of them, thinking that nobody's watching game shows.
I'm
I mean, when
watching-
you're watching History Channel, somebody else is watching Game Show.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah,
that's, you
4
know.
people
Or-
are watching
or
History
the new
Channel,
one you watch, I'm
and
sorry.
3 of them are going to die in the next month.
I'm not watching History Channel. Okay,
American
I'm not watching
Heroes.
Swamp
Yeah, what the
Swamp
fuck ever.
Rednecks on there. You know,
He's watching, what's your show on Friday night?
On
On
Patrol.
Patrol.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing better than watching people like Chris get arrested and tased. Okay, there's nothing better.
We
And
should compare the viewer ratings for like an MLS game and like Family Feud.
well, MLS is behind Apple TV paywall. You have to have some money to watch MLS. Unlike the
Now
people,
he's making excuses.
unlike the people watching.
What about
Family
last
Feud.
year? We can do last year's.
Soccer's not as popular in
Yeah,
America.
because
It's
it's
growing.
Dog
It's
shit.
growing.
You know what else is growing?
What?
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune's ratings.
Yeah, and you know what else is growing? The morgue with the people that are watching the show.
I'm telling you, man. It's not as terrible as you think.
Oh, jeez. Well, something that is terrible. A Missouri man passed away after eating raw oysters. This gentleman went to a place called the Fruit Stand and Seafood in
Wait
Manchester,
a second.
Missouri.
That's your
The
problem.
fruit stand and seafood.
Yes, the Fruit Stand and Seafood in Manchester, Missouri. Apparently, he was infected with the bacteria Vibrio vulnificus, which sounds like a sex toy that Chris buys. It can be found
Pronounce
in,
that just as good as Michelin.
It can be found in uncooked seafood, according to the CDC. So this gentleman passed away from that. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a general rule that if it's a landlocked state, I'm not eating seafood there, especially anything from the raw bar.
That's fair. So you're not going to have the shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's?
In Indianapolis, as great as it is, and I've heard it's great, I'm not eating that.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't blame you.
believe, I think it was the NFL draft. There was something where a bunch of people that went out and they had the St. Elmo's, and it was just sitting there on ice for like hours a couple years ago. There's no chance I'm eating that.
I think it was a national championship game.
Yeah, it might have been a
I
national
think it was in
championship.
Indianapolis a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
Like Denver, I forget the name of it. That's a great osteria in Denver that is like well known. And every time I go there, I'm never going there. I will never eat there.
No, you're right. I'm not going to eat seafood more than 2. What is it? How far were we from Virginia Beach? 2.5 hours?
2.5, 2.5.
Yeah. Anything over 4 hours, I'm not eating seafood.
Yeah, well, the general rule of thumb people always say is like don't eat oysters in months that don't have R in their name, because ideally you want those in like colder times. That's why like in the fall you usually have like a lot of oyster roast. I mean, I would still, because we can get them locally here, like
I had
rapid.
no idea.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I've
either.
never had an oyster.
So that's May through
well,
August.
I have had oysters.
I've had one.
Oysters, Rockefeller.
Okay.
I've had oysters one time,
Go
Yeah?
get you some
and
oysters
it
then.
actually did make me sick. I think it's just because I've never had one, and I was like probably 30 years old. I finally had an oyster.
did you ever Kroger oyster?
It was from the boathouse.
Oh, well, they'll have to say
Wait.
the name.
Whatever. I don't
Sponsor
I don't
us.
think it was their. No, I don't think it was their.
I've
fault.
never gotten food poisoning
No,
there.
I
Right, I love you, Boathouse.
But no,
I've
I
never
didn't-
eaten
I didn't
there.
get food poisoning. It's like I got sick one time. I felt fine. I just think because I went so many years without ever eating anything like that.
You have like an allergy or something? Do you think?
I literally got sick one. It might not even been that. I don't know what else it would have been. But I got sick one time. I felt fine. Like and that was it.
Did your date, did he get sick?
This was a work function.
Oh.
They were good though.
Yeah. So my wife had never had oysters until it's probably 5 years ago. We went to a wine and food festival in Baltimore, and of course we were VIP, as we ought to be. And the oysters there that were the size of like Tallahassee that we were getting in the VIP section there, and I made her try one because she does this bit where I don't like this. Have you had this? No. And so I say you cannot say that you don't like it until you've had it. Right. And now she loves them. Like
Yeah,
she will fuck them up like with me. But yeah, Chris, you've only had one oyster,
I've had oysters Rockefeller from the Croaker spot.
but you never had like a raw oyster.
No, I'm not going to have a raw oyster. I refuse.
I'm taking you out on my tab. We're going out.
Family, we have oysters every
No,
Christmas.
fuck, I'm not doing it. It looks like snot.
You've eaten that before. You've had worse.
So, Leon, is that how you got your wife to marry you?
What's that? Oysters?
She was like, "I don't like you. Have you ever tried me? No.
yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to marry you. Have you ever tried marriage? No.
I'm like George Costanza, like I wear on you. It's like by Niven, like that's me.
You definitely wear on people. Yeah.
Oh, you should see how pissed I got Chris before the show started. I mean, he was turning redder than Ryan's shirt over there. I love it.
No, it was the computer, and my anxiety has been through the roof today. So
Well, when you have all that Romanian porn on there, I mean, and soon you'll have to post your ID to. Soon you'll have to check in with the ID to watch that in Virginia.
I haven't turned this thing on since last week when we did the show.
Well, you haven't turned women on in a long time
yeah.
either, so it's got something in common.
Yeah, please don't watch porn on the
I'm not watching
the podcast
porn
laptop.
on the podcast laptop. That's
And that-
what my phone is for.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, we have an episode title for the show: "No Porn on the Podcast Laptop." And with those humble words, we will bid you adieu
Are we done?
for this evening. Here, are we done? That's what that girl said to Chris after 15 seconds.
Man, Chris,
Scotty,
taking it hard this episode.
unlike that girl.
Yeah, that was there too. That was a good one.
Where can we find us on the
That was a good
socials?
You can find us at Let's Not Do This Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and _ Let's Not Do This on Twitter, and hopefully we'll be up on YouTube.
Hopefully.
Let's Not Do This Podcast.
As opposed to the U site that Chris normally goes to.
Jesus Christ.